Okay, well here we are at Tebow or Tebow Road. I don't know exactly how they say it, but I'm showing this map so you get an idea of where I'm at. I'm actually right here on that big bend where E is. D is sold, and then there's I, and then there's that path and F. And they're at the very end. I've only got it laying like this so you can maybe keep up with where I'm at. When I stand up, I'll try to give you an idea of how things are oriented, and maybe you can keep up. I'm not the best at this, okay? So I'm gonna take my rocks up. It's a little breezy out here. And I'm gonna put this paper in my back pocket so I can have my hands free. But we're gonna stand up here if I can get my fat butt up. Let's see here. I'll put this in my pocket. Okay, now, what I want to really show you is Tebow or Tebow Road, whatever it is, okay? We're just gonna pan back this way. It's a rocked road. And this is it right here. And it's maintained by the state, county, city, whoever. But right up there, if you see the change, that's paved road. It turns into a rock road right there. So you come around, and going up there, maybe you can see my car way up there. That's where the little road is beside I and J, or whatever, IJ, whatever. But when we're looking this way, okay, so you can get an idea, the road curves, but this D property is kind of like going straight. It goes straight. Maybe you can see it, but there's D over there. This is that, I forget whichever one it is, the E or H, the E, I think. I think I need to get out my paper again because I don't want to mislead, you know, and I want people to follow along with me. Yeah, that's E. This is a part that does have some flood on it. Or not flood, but it's flood rated, but it's way in the back area, okay? So, and there's a small section here coming off this road. Now remember, this one's maintained. You don't have to do anything. You can access from it here, and the state's always going to take care of it. Excuse me, I hate snorting, but that's how it is. But this property has a narrow access actually for the size of property, but then it widens out like a V or something each way, you know. You see it on the map how it does. So, but you still have plenty of access here. I mean, there's still plenty of room. And during this video, what I'm going to be doing, because this is a lot of property to walk, I'll be pausing it and starting it back up and try to catch up where I'm at. But if you look at this, I did a partial walk down that lane. This is about what it all looks like. Small brush. It used to be farmland that they've just let grow up. So any trees that are out here are small in nature and nothing to clear. Shouldn't be that much hard work to get a nice clean area. And remember, all of this is flood zone X, which is the minimal amount. It's just a area way back in there somewhere, which does occupy a good part of this property that's in a flood zone. But you know, it's not always flooded. It can just be spare property, a buffer. But anyway, so this is a state maintained road, and it keeps going. And I'll give you another reference of that curve. Okay. All right. I just want you to be able to keep up with me. And probably I'm going to take I don't know where the property lines would be, because what I don't think you guys understand is none of this has been surveyed out. They put in lines just to give people ideas. If you want a bigger piece of property or a smaller piece of property, you can come out here and say, we want this much, and how many acres will it be to that, to whatever point you want. And then they will have that surveyed out. But you know, you'll probably have to pay for that survey. I don't know. That's something you'd have to talk with them about. But just the lines that they have will be surveyed out the moment that you want to purchase. And you know, just to give you an idea, it's good flat level land. Like I said, flood zone X. We had Ophelia here, that tropical storm. Today is Tuesday. It left here Sunday morning, and there's just a little water in the ditches. So, but you see, there's their sign. So I'm thinking this other property probably starts somewhere right in here. That goes right straight back, which is I. So this is part of I believe. Do I have my memory is about as long as my finger. Let's see here. I have to keep looking. Yeah, this is part of I. So this is part of I. somewhere in here, I'm sure, the property line, and that's a good 400 or 500 foot at least, I think. And it's kind of going back, straight back. But I'm going to walk up to where the car is. I'm going to pause it, and then I'll start you back up right there, okay? Well, I decided to start up before the car just because I wanted you to see this area here, you know. It's just brush and small trees. And this is a ditch line here. I'm sure the government property probably goes another 10 foot over there, but you get the idea. And now I'll catch you back up with you here in a second. Okay, so I'm starting you back up, and you see down there is D and the other one G, I think. No, D and E. That's it. And here's I on the right hand side. And there's J, okay, on that side. And you see the power lines. They're kind of right now following the road. They're coming across right here, but that's no big deal. I'll pan around here so you can see. Tebo keeps on going around. And that's J. And here's the path for I, okay. So I'm going to continue to walk through here a little ways. To give you an idea, I didn't walk all the way down it earlier, but it's all pretty much the same. It looks like somebody's been through here a little bit with maybe a bush hog or something, because it's just lower and been, you know, cut up. But and not so much over here, but still, it's all small brush, you see. And so is this. Small pine trees, you know. You could have your select, you know, of what you can leave, or you know, just put your house right in the middle of it, 2 or 3. Remember, everything they want to keep is above 10, but if you ever wanted to subdivide, you need to make sure that how you subdivide it, every home would be on minimum 10 acres. So keep that in mind. But you see, we're walking down J's, just brushy. A few pine trees, but they grow fast, that's why they're taller. And kind of the same over here, only this doesn't quite look as, how should I say it, as mature as that side, as this side. They seem to have been growing a little bit longer than on this side, which, remember, that's I, and this is J. I don't think you said you were interested in J. But we're going to walk through here, and what I'm going to do is, when we get around that little bend, I'll come back on. Okay, well, we've gotten down to that little curve, and you see my car down there. And see, again, it's a little more open on the eye, and less trees. Maybe the bush is a little bit lower here than back there. I don't know what the difference would be, but yeah, so you can see that. And one thing is, there's a small ditch or covert, whatever the heck they want to call it, over here. There's not one over there that I can plainly see. I don't know if there is one and the grass is covering it. But there is a small ditch over here, and you can see how this opens up. Let's just walk over here right quick and just get an idea. You know, they've had like I said, they've had a bush hog in here, and you know, that's what it would take to clear it. Just a bush hog going on all the trees to clear it out. One good summer, you could have nice green grass and plop your house right there. And being an X-flood zone, you probably wouldn't have to worry about the elevation of your home. Excuse me. And it's only about 1.5 miles from here, taking that Tebo Road around to get out to the main highway there in New Bern. So it's pretty close to everything, but feels in the middle of nothing. So this is about as far as I walked a little bit earlier. And I'll give you another view. Of course, this is I. Okay. And I don't know if we're going to run into mature trees or what's going on, but we'll see here. And that's J. We'll keep on walking, and I'll be back with you in a minute. Okay, we're back, and I just came to this point here. See that the curve is about that second light pole where we came around, and they bush hogged here, but see, this is considerably higher growth, and that's J. That will take some real clearing, some money to do, where I is still the same, okay? And I'm thinking, we'll see up here in just a moment, but you know, so far the power lines are just following the access road. because this road is deeded access, 50 foot wide, starting from somewhere, I don't know where. But yeah, you see here, this is I, and I don't know if you can tell, but I can because of my own eyesight here. It begins to get a little bit higher growth over here also. But once again, I'm gonna try to pause this, and I'll come back with you in a second. Okay, I've come a little bit further, and you can see how this is the I, but it is transitioning to higher kind of growth. This side is becoming more like this side, okay? And you see what I'm saying? I'm scanning back that way, and we're gonna continue to walk and see if we can't, you know, get you a better view here of what's going on back here. Looks like somebody's got a shed. Maybe they come back here and party a little bit. Said something about they had bear traps in the woods. I don't think I'm going to walk through the woods for you guys, okay? Yeah, I hope you understand. But I'll get as much video as I can, and when I get this situated out, I will come back on. Okay, I explored just a little bit to get an idea of where things are. And remember, I was showing you this, which is I, and then it was getting taller, and this over here was F. Well, this is where I is going to end, somewhere in here. And this becomes J over here and K on that side. And the power lines are going straight through just like before. Now remember, this road might have rock on it, but it's not maintained by anyone. So if you buy property and you have a house way back in here, you're going to have to maintain this road yourself. But like I said, that's J to the right now. Higher growth also means you're going to have to spend a bit more money to clear it out and get it developed. Same thing with K. It might be the reasons why they might be considered a little bit cheaper, because there's no wood in here to harvest. They're all too small, you know, but it's going to cost you to clear if you're planning to build. But I'm going to pause it and we'll come back on in a minute. Okay, I want to say, because there's no markers or anything to tell me where property is, I'm just taking a guess. But they've made these cutouts. See, this was J I was showing you just a moment ago. And over here was F and K. Well, there's little bush hogs, you know, where they've cleared out a path. Like maybe that's the approximate property line, and they've done the same thing over here. Okay, approximate property line. So if that's true, then that means a little bit of this high brush is on I also. But with all the other acreage, you could do with a little bit of high brush. I'm gonna continue on down this path here. As we get further back on J and K, you do see some main power lines coming through here on the road. And you can see they're making some kind of cross up there. And I can tell the land, even though it's in a minimal flood zone, has gone down just a little bit. I'm keeping a look ahead of me too for snakes. But yeah, that might be another reason too. While this property back here might be a little more or a little less in price. He told me on the phone when I talked to him today that, oh, they decided to up the price to everything out here to $9,000 an acre. Well, we'll offer them whatever, you know, you decide to offer, if you're going to offer. So I'll be right back with you. Okay, I'm at the back, and yes, power lines run through back here. If this is where the property is, it's just hard to say. I'll look back so you get a reference point. There's those power poles I was just telling you about. And a bit more water back here. Like I said, I could tell it's getting a little bit lower. And this is kind of low, you know, it'd be difficult to drive across probably during a storm, but yes. And if that's part of the property, that's mature trees. Now, some of those could be harvested if they are. But do you want to do all that? There's small power lines. You see the small poles, and then there's the big ones. You see the big twin poles down there going through here. And this is a big intersection. So with that said, I think that's pretty much a tour of this property. And although I didn't walk inside the woods, I think it gives you an idea, because over here is you know, not here, not this place, but up there on the left, and it's all just small trees and brush, which in my opinion is very easy to, you saw it, they bush hogged it, and you know, you bush hog that, and in one summer you can have a yard out there, no problem. And just cut down what trees you want. But with that, I'm going to sign off, and I hope this video has showed you what you would like to know. Goodbye.